The reality is we're going to take a cue off of the memorial service that was at Buffalo Grove High School that some of you guys that are here today actually had an opportunity to go to. But the reality is it was a celebration of Lindsey's life. And it was for me to see that it was rather unique of a service, and much like Lindsey, rather unique. And what I also would like to do is point out, if some of you didn't grab one of these on the way in, it's what this was handed out at the celebration in Buffalo Grove. It was the article that Craig Sesker wrote the day after Lindsey passed away, and it was, as the family said, this was as good a example of who Lindsey was that we could ever put together, and they appreciated what Craig had written, and we handed that out to a lot of the people there because it was a kind of a different crowd compared to here. That was the crowd that knew Lindsey growing up. Most of you guys knew Lindsey as an athlete that was here. You know, there's some things that I learned at that service, at that celebration, that probably would have helped in dealing with Lindsey when he was here, if you'd have had it in advance. But there was one thing that was abundantly clear at that, is that Lindsey had an extended family that loved him dearly. And what was probably even more important than that they loved him unconditionally. Because the stories that came out was quite an eventful day to listen to all the stories about Lindsey Durlacher. But the other part is that it was quite obvious also that Lindsey really loved his family as well. And before we get going any farther, a lot of you guys have not, met Lindsey's brothers, and he's got two older brothers, Mike and Dave. And if you guys would just stand up so everybody could see you, there is no family resemblance.
Or height resemblance.
But as older brothers, their whole careers, what they did really was to help Lindsey. If you go into what they're doing today, Dave chose to serve this sport of wrestling as a coach. And not only coached Lindsey, but he's coached a lot of other talented athletes at Buffalo Grove. And for me personally, I like to thank you because I've got my baby brother has actually had the opportunity to coach with Dave and be influenced by Dave himself. And Mike, what Mike did was chose the route that he thought would best help Lindsey. And then Mike became a lawyer. Okay? And again, I learned all of this stuff after I'm up there to help explain to Dave. But the reality is as brothers and as a family, and you'll see in the video, this was it is a tremendously close family, and one that truly saw Lindsey as who he is, and a man that really did enjoy life. There are a few people today that are going to speak here on that have been part of Lindsey's life, mostly since we've been here. And Lindsey's been, an Olympic Training Center resident athlete and a USA wrestling athlete for a long time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have the opportunity to hear from a few individuals. And then at the end here, if I'll have an open mic if there's somebody that really would like to come up and speak. The other thing too is we will leave this open for any of you afterwards when we come back and have a little bit of a social if there's some stories that need to be told, I guess, as they were in Buffalo Grove.